It's warm. It's breathing. And it doesn't do dishes. Hello, folks. Welcome back to Orchard Reviews. Today I'm going to be reviewing the book It Came From Beneath the Sink. Number 30 from OG62, Goosebumps, the original series. So, the front cover is pretty good, pretty scary, pretty eerie, actually. Basically, you have that big, sink, and what happens is that the cabinet that is beneath the sink is open, and so you have all the appliances that are necessary for that are required for cleaning up the kitchen. And most importantly, it's very dark in there. And the everything seems to be bathed in a sort of very dark blue light. And you have some real some real darkness in there. And basically, there seem to be two green eyes, glowing green eyes that are staring. And basically, those green eyes look really terrifying. The kind of eyes that could pierce through one's soul. Wow, that is so scary. That is so scary. And yeah, so that's pretty dark, but it's also contrasted with some orange, that basically the wood frame and the wooden frame and the light also. So yeah, it's pretty much contrasted between basically bright colors and darker colors. So I really like the stone of orange, and you have a lot of blue too for like the cabinet, the pipes beneath the sink, and yeah, that's pretty much it. The buckets and everything, and the wall, and even the sink seems to be kind of glowing in a sort of blue. It's like it's bathed in some kind of a blue light or something. Yeah, it's glowing, and it's pretty beautiful. I really like the orange and everything, and even the words that make the title, Goosebumps. You know, the title of the series. Everything is kind of maroon orange like, and it's so beautiful. I really like it, and wow, yeah, the colors that frame the image of the front cover is so good. I really love it. You have some yellow in the background of the title, Goosebumps. I really like the front cover. I really like it. I think it sounds like a very interesting Goosebumps book, and it makes us want to read this book. It makes us want to read it and find out what it's all about. So now that I spoke a little bit about the front cover, perhaps I should move on to the book itself, as I usually do. So this book, first of all, I'd like to say that I read it like about 2 years ago. So I'm sorry if not everything is fresh in my mind at the moment, but I'm gonna try my level best to remember about the main idea. So basically, you have a set of characters that move on to like a family, and they're moving into that new house, and basically the family is made of Katrina Merton, who's nicknamed Cat. She's known as Cat, and basically her brother Daniel, or the main characters, the main protagonists, whatever you're gonna call them, and they move on to that new house. It's a big house. It's really beautiful, and everything seems to be doing okay. But then their dog, what was his name? Killer. That's a funny name for a dog, isn't it? Killer the dog. It's kind of sniffing around the place because dogs usually need some time to get accustomed to, I guess, new smells and things like that. So it's kind of exploring the place, you know. And what happens is that he's gonna sniff something. He's gonna feel like there's something beneath the sink, you know, and inside the cabinet, and there's some kind of a sponge, if I'm not mistaken, and what happens is that the dog is gonna growl at it and he's gonna try to eat it. So Kat and her brother are gonna try to stop him from eating that sponge. It's a pretty funny beginning, to be honest with you folks. And so yeah, what happens is that they're gonna try to stop him, and they're gonna find out that there's that sponge that he found is kind of weird in some way, but yeah, it's there's more to it, and the sponge is kind of the main thing of the book. I gotta be honest with you. I don't want to spoil it too much, anything, but I gotta make sure that the main elements of the book, the main idea is there in my review of it. So basically, yeah, they tried to pull the dog off the sponge and everything, and then they analyze it, and it seems to be okay, not damaged too much or anything. So they decide to keep it. They decide to keep it for to play with, or to, just for fun's sake, because it's a new. They just moved on. They just moved into that new house, and they found that sponge, and they're wondering what it is all about and everything. But then there seem to be some weird things taking place, like for example, some weird accidents are starting to take place in the house, and it seems to be that the sponge seems to be some kind of a bad luck charm or something. Like really, it's really scary because the sponge, whenever something bad happens, the sponge is always near, right? And their friend Carlo, who's a friend of the siblings, is gonna go and visit them at some point, and something bad is gonna happen to him as well. So they're gonna be really intrigued by all that. So they're gonna decide to kind of investigate this whole sponge thing, the lore of the sponge. So they're gonna go to the library. They're gonna do a lot of research and everything, and they're gonna find out, what. And they're gonna find out about the true origin. They're gonna find out about the true origin of that sponge, of that killer sponge, right? So I guess that's pretty much it. They're gonna go. They're gonna get that book that is called Encyclopedia of the Weird, and then the secret of the sponge is gonna be unraveled. Like they're gonna find out the truth. Like the secret is gonna be shared with them, like through reading the book. Through reading this book, they're gonna find out about what this whole thing is all about. They're gonna find out about the true identity of that killer sponge, right? So I think I'm gonna stop it here for the summary. Did I leave anything out important? Did I leave out anything important, folks? I'm not sure. I hope not. But yeah, like I said, I read it kind of a long time ago, and I'm not everything is fresh in my mind at the moment. But yeah, now let's move on to my review. To my personal opinion on the book itself. So the book, I think, was pretty enjoyable. But like I said, since I can't remember much, it's kind of forgettable at the same time. Like, it's not the most eventful Goosebumps book from the series. Yeah, I kind of forgot a lot of things about it. I would like to reread it in the future, but I do remember a lot of things from when I read it in June 2020. I remember really liking the book. I thought it was a good book. It's not a bad book per se. It has a lot of cool things in it. It's not a fantastic book. It's not a great Goosebumps novel. Like it's okay. It's not a great It's not a great story per se. It's not that original. It's kind of like a rip off of Say Cheese and Die, with the mysterious camera, with that whole camera that seems to be predicting the future. It's kind of the same thing with but a sponge version of it, with the sponge instead of the evil camera. That's pretty much it, really. And there's not much to say about this book. It's enjoyable for what it is. I didn't hate the book, but I didn't love it at the same time. The characters are kind of enjoyable. They're likable. Our main characters are okay. Some scenes of the book are pretty good. One scene is very gruesome and disgusting, and very graphic. So if you have young children wanting to read this book, I'd hold off on that for a little while, at least until they're like, I don't know, 12 years of age or something, because there's a scene that kind of, it's just wow, and I'm not that young either. But it really scared me. So I don't want to tell you what it is exactly because I don't want to spoil it. But man, if you folks, sorry, but folks, yeah, if you have young children who would like to read this book, wait till they're at least wait till they're at least used to Goosebumps before deciding to give them this one, right? To have them read this one. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So yeah, characters are enjoyable. The lore, the sponge is interesting. Yeah, it's pretty much like a science fiction sort of novel. Yeah, it's pretty good. It's pretty mysterious, and it's like a thriller in a way. It's you when you get to the story itself, you kind of like what happens, and you want to know about what happens after that. So it's kind of like afterwards, you want to know what happens afterwards. So it's kind of like a detective sort of novel, and it's pretty good. It's pretty enjoyable. It came from Anita Singh. It's a book that kind of yeah slips through the cracks. I would say not a lot of people talk about it. Certainly not a lot of people recommend it. I gotta be honest with you. I kind of stumbled upon this one and not by chance, but I was kind of aimlessly looking for a Goosebumps book, and it was back when I started Goosebumps, and I thought this one looks kind of good. It looks kind of neat with the front cover and everything. So I thought, hey, you know what? Let's give it a shot. And I'm not disappointed. It's not a disappointing Goosebumps book. I know some people hated it, but it's not disappointing. The final twist is pretty good, and yeah, I think that's pretty much it. This Goosebumps book is pretty good. I really enjoyed it, and yeah, not a lot of things about the book, but still kind of interesting. It's engaging. I say it. It's engaging. Whatever it is good. So yeah, Carlo is a good character as a friend, and the main character is Kat and her brother Daniel on Merton, right? Last name's Merton. They're good characters. The parents I couldn't remember much, but I thought they were okay. So yeah, that's I guess that's pretty much it. I don't know what else to say about this book, to be honest with you. I read it a long time ago. There's not much to say about it. I think it's really like a bad luck charm and a bad object that causes a lot of bad luck to happen, a lot of misfortune, and the characters are going to try to figure out a way to get rid of it or a way to figure it out to understand what it is. They're going to try to understand what it is, what that whole thing is. Yeah, that's pretty much like Say Cheese and Die, Night of the Living Dummy. I think at some point they tried to get rid of it, but it's hard. It keeps coming back or something, so it's really scary. So it's really like there are a lot of elements from from some previous Goosebumps books, like Night of the Living Dummy and so on and so forth, and Say Cheese and Die, obviously with Evil Camera, obviously. Say Cheese and Die, obviously, and maybe yeah some others, but yeah, and that's pretty much it. I think I'm going to stop it here for that review because I don't know what else to say about this book. It's going to be a shorter review. So maybe, yeah, 5 minutes 5 minutes shorter than the latest reviews I've been making. So if I were to give that book a rating, I think I'd give it 7.5 out of 10. It's not a bad book, but it could have been a little bit better. It's not really scary per se, but it's interesting. And I would recommend it for people who, started Goosebumps, but not if they're too young, like I said, because of the scary scene. But if they're like 12 to 13 years of age and they just started Goosebumps recently, perhaps they could, yeah, perhaps they could just check this one out and, yeah, understand find out about what it is. So, yeah, if you have young readers, too young, no, maybe not such a good idea. But if they're older and they know how to deal with they know how to handle scary things like and gory scenes, whatever, graphic things. Maybe they could give that book a shot, especially if they're starting on the Goosebumps journey, because it may be a good book for them if they, if they read it as one of their first books, as one of their first Goosebumps books. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Goosebumps. It came from beneath the sink, number 30 from OG62. 7.5 out of 10 for me. It's pretty good, but not the most eventful Goosebumps book, and it could have been a little bit better, a little bit scarier with the lore and everything. But I liked it for what it was. So what about you, folks? What did you think about It Came From Beneath the Sink? Did you like it? Did you hate it? Let me know in the comment section down below about your opinion. I can't wait to hear about what you have to say about this book. And in the meantime, folks, stay safe. Bye-bye. Take care. This whole channel reviews for you signing off. And now I'm going to be reading the summary. The luck's about to go down the drain. Kat and her brother Daniel are so lucky. They just moved to a new house with tons of rooms, 2 balconies, and a lawn the size of a football field. But all that good luck is about to run out because there's something really evil living in their new house. Because there's something really evil living in their new house, something that's moving, watching, waiting, something that comes from beneath the kitchen sink.